Hey, welcome to the C Spot. I am Chef C, and it's Valentine's. It's close to Valentine's. So let me give you something to cook or prepare for Valentine's. A lot of us don't do Valentine's. I'm one of those people. I remember when I was dating my now spouse about 20 years ago. He was trying to figure out what to get me for Valentine's. I'm always that person don't like surprises. And I told him, I said, you know what? You don't have to do anything for Valentine's for me. I'm good with that. And the reason why I'm good with that is because if you're giving to me throughout the year, I don't need a special day for you to give me something. See how that works? So now he gives me gifts whenever he feels like it. That's how you work that. Anyway, who doesn't like chocolate? Well, if you don't like chocolate, I can't help you today. Because today we're doing a chocolate bark that's going to have dark chocolate and a little white chocolate. Not a white chocolate fan, but I'm going to put a little bit in there. Some cherries, dry cherries, and pecans, because those are the nuts that I like. And we're also going to do chocolate-covered strawberries. You've heard of Sherry's berries? Well, this is Chef C's berries. So we're going to do chocolate-covered strawberries. You can do this with any fruit. You can do it with apple. You can do it with cherry. Obviously, you can do it with strawberries. You can do it with blueberries. Whatever fruit that you like, you can do this. And it's easy. So in my microwave, we're going to do the chocolate bark. So in my microwave, I've got some chocolate melting. And I'm using unsweetened chocolate. You can use sweetened chocolate. You're going to melt it at 30-second increments. Mine's been going, this is about a minute. So I'm nice and melted. And remember, we're sleevers, so we don't have to, we're not going to eat a whole lot. I've got some white chocolate here. Gonna get that started. Simple, simple. Got your pan, some parchment. Put down your melted chocolate. See how this is working? If you don't want to melt the white chocolate, you don't have to. Just put it in chips. I'm going to melt mine. Spread it out as thin as you want it. I don't want it too thick. You don't want it too thick because then you just got hunks of chocolate. And I won't say that that's no bueno, but I will say that it's not what we're going for. All right, so we got our white chocolate. Gonna give it a little stir. It's still hunky, chunky. 30 more seconds. While that's doing that thing, I've got some dried cherries. Just gonna plop them in. These are big cherries. Sous Chef, where'd you get these cherries?
Got those cherries from Cox Farms.
Cox Farms is a local establishment here in the DFW area. That there's like 3 locations. I'm gonna use this whole thing. Duh, lady, you just got out of the microwave. You think it wasn't gonna be hot? I wasn't expecting it to be that hot. White chocolate doesn't have the same makeup as regular chocolate. I could go in and give you the science of it, but I ain't gonna. It's just not my steez. All right, so I'm gonna I got some paper cones because we're gonna use the white chocolate 2 different ways. If I can handle that hotness. I'm just gonna put it in the cone. I don't celebrate it with gifts, but you can. I'll eat all day. But not necessarily. All right, so we got some pecans. We're going to sprinkle those in here. And all I did to the pecans was I just roasted them in the oven for about 10 minutes. Remember that when you're roasting nuts, if you smell it, it's too late. You've already burnt them. 350 degrees, 10 minutes. And then I'm gonna take my, and I'm looking around because I had a pair of scissors and now I can't find them, which is the story of my life. It was here a minute ago, but now I can't find it. All right, so we got our little paper cone. Gonna snip off our end. Don't have the cone. If you don't have the parchment to do the paper cones, do you know what you use? Want me to tell you? Ziploc bag. Here's where you get creative. Put as much or as little as you like. That's about my limit right there. And then we're going to put it in the fridge and let it cool. Next up, chocolate covered strawberries. Chocolate covered strawberries. I'm going to use the same bowl I heated my other chocolate in. Those are just chocolate chips. You can use Lily's. Remember, Lily's are chocolate that's been cooked with, made with stevia. We're going to do the same thing, 30-second increments. We've got our strawberries. We actually want to put our strawberries on some parchment. Until they set up, and then we'll put them on our little decorative tray. Now, you culinary school purists out there, yes, we normally melt our chocolate on the stove, in the double boiler, or just use a regular pot with some water at the bottom. Put your glass bowl on top. Make sure the glass bowl doesn't hit the water. Make sure the steam doesn't come out and go in because that makes your chocolate seize. And you can melt it evenly there. Or you can use microwave. Guess what we're using? Microwave. Duh. Oh, you know what I forgot? I was going to put some fleur de sel. That's salt, y'all. We've got all that sweet. I need a little salt. Just a little pinch. You can use flake salt. Malden's has the flake salt. You can use sea salt. You're not going to use a whole lot of it. It's just going to cut out a little bit of that sugar. All right, we're going to give it a stir. We might be good. I think I might need about 10 more seconds. I still see some lumps. All right, so here's the difference between using chips and using bar chocolate. Chips have a stabilizer in them in order to get them to stay in that chip shape. They have a stabilizer in them in order to get them to stay in that chip shape. So just understand that that's going to be the little difference between the two. Sometimes it can affect the taste, depends on the brand that you get. You're not going to eat a whole lot of chocolate, so get a quality chocolate. I like Ghirardelli. I like Goutard. I mean, I'll do Hershey's, and I'll do, what's the other one? Nestle, if I have to in a pinch. I've used the vegan chocolate. I do like the vegan chocolate. Let's dip some strawberries. Let's dip some strawberries. I'm trying to be nice to my sous chef today, but it ain't working. I haven't done this since I was a pastry chef in Idaho. I think I came back and I dipped strawberries, and then I was like, I'm over it. So that's going to be the whole strawberry. And we've dipped the whole one. And I do like to rub off the back because that's where it's going to sit. And you don't see that one. You don't see that one. So, and that's your dipped strawberry. We used to do something fancy at the lodge that I worked at for our honeymoon guests because it was a, and we would dip half and dip half. And I did a little backwards, but I'll show you in a second. We have our white chocolate from before. See if it's still melted for me. Give yourself a little drizzle. A little swirly cue. Ooh. Give him a little tuxedo bow tie. I keep touching that when it comes out like it ain't hot. What am I thinking? It's hot. All right, this needs another 30 seconds. If your chocolate dries, hardens, then we can always pop it back in the microwave for a little bit. Don't want to pop it in the microwave. You could add a little bit of oil to it, just a little bit. Remember, we're not going for grease. Do another whole dip one. You'd think I'd learned my lesson. But at least now, my sous chef knows how I got my asbestos hands. You do want to make sure that you're stirring. I've got chocolate all over this towel. And the towel is kind of damp. And we all know what happens with damp things. They transmit heat. Let's try this again. I know. Get it in the camera. Get it in the camera. All right, we got a good melt going on. I want to give it about 10 more seconds, and then we should be ready to go. The added bonus to using chocolate, you don't like something, scrape it off and do it again. I don't like it, we'll scrape it off. Make it a new design. Give it a swirl. Remember, this is yours. You're not selling it. And if you're going to sell it, you're going to do it better than this. But we're not selling it. It's edible. It's enjoyable. And what did she do? She reached right in there when it was hot. I know, I'm getting it in the shot. All right, so we got our white chocolate. I'm going to stir it just a little bit. I'm going to have to add just a little bit of oil because it's a little thick.
It's what?
It's a little thick.
Little
thick. So I'm going to add just a little bit of avocado oil because you want something that's bland. You want a bland oil. And I mean, that's not even a fourth teaspoon. Just to loosen it up a little bit more. just to loosen it up. You can do the same thing with your chocolate. You're not going to taste it. So don't freak out and say, oh, oil in my chocolate. You're not going to taste it. All right, so let's dip some chocolate. Let's some white chocolate. This is the time where you can actually play with your food. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing playing with your food. Let's do a half and half. Let's use this big one. Well, see what you're going to do in the middle. I'm going to do a little bit more. Let's go in a little bit more. There we go. There we go. And this one's going to be all the way. So you can see where you can get very creative in what you're doing. And you're asking, what if I have leftover chocolate? Put it in a container and you can use it again. I have chocolate all over the kitchen. Sous chef's gonna be happy with me in a little bit.
And I just cleaned the kitchen, y'all.
If they knew how many times we had to clean our kitchen just to tape.
How many times I cleaned the kitchen, y'all?
Oh, my bad. All right, so we've got the chocolate. We're gonna let that dry a little bit. Then we're gonna come back in and we're gonna finish some decorations. I'll see you in a bit. And we're finished doing our creative thing. Remember, this is your home kitchen, so it doesn't have to be perfect. If you're doing it for another source, if you're going to take it somewhere and all that kind of good stuff, hit me on the website, thecspotfood.com, or via Gmail, thecspotfood@gmail.com, thecspotfood@gmail.com. You can also catch me on the gram. All that would be in a link below. And I can help you and tell you what tools to use in order to do it more professional. But these look tasty and they look good. And I know that my sous chef is going to eat them up. So you've got your chocolate bark with your dried cherries, your pecans, a little sea salt, some white chocolate and some dark chocolate. And you've got your chocolate covered strawberries with both white chocolate and dark chocolate.
Happy Valentine's Day, y'all.
Exactly. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. Enjoy. Remember to enjoy the journey.